So why did you become a chiropractor? Well, most of us, I would imagine that you became a chiropractor because you want to serve people and you want to help people. But the problem is that most of us forget that in order for us to serve people and help our people in our community, we actually have to do something right. And what we have to do right is that we have to actually have a business to provide that service. So in this episode, we're going to talk to you about some of the key components you need to think about in order for you to provide a business that is survivable, that allows you to create the profit that you need to help you do the things you want to do, which is serve and help people. All right, so in this episode, let's get right to it after these little intro. All right there, guys, it's Lawrence Tam here, your chiro coach. I want to talk to you a couple of things today. Today, we're going to be really diving into a few things around business and in terms of why is it so important for us to kind of build a practice and transform it into a business. But I want to just let you know that this episode is brought to you by the Practice Bootcamp. I'm running a bootcamp. It's called Lawrence Tam. Go to lawrencetam.com/bootcamp. I'm going to talk to you exactly how to build that practice in towards a business itself. So let's kind of get right into today's episode. Like I said, most important thing is that what we do is we want to really help and serve people. That's what most chiropractors have actually, got into this profession. I know I did. And ultimately, we want to be able to do that. The challenge, of course, is that what we also need to do is we want to have a career. We also want to do is have a life to be able to live the lifestyle we want to have. And we also have these dreams, right? And so in order to accomplish all of these, we have different fulfillments that we have to want to have. We have, spiritual fulfillment. We have financial fulfillments. We have, relationship fulfillments and confidence and so on and so forth. And to create all of these fulfillments, what we need to do is that we need to actually really strive for all of these things. But there's a part of us, or maybe in society, that teaches us that we can't have all of that for some reason. But the reality is, of course we can. We can have to, what we should be doing is striving to how do we have all of that, but without compromising our values and compromising who we are, right? But we have this story that goes on ourselves that we have to trade one for the other. And how do I know that? Well, it shows up in the symptom, right? And here's the symptom that it shows up in, is that when I talk to chiropractors oftentimes is that, every time we ever talk about profit or building a business, they get it. Like intellectually, they get it, that why they need to do that, you need a business to be able to be profitable. And so that you can actually take that profit to be able to help you drive towards your vision, right? And which is your vision, which is about helping and serving and helping clients and helping people, which fulfills that part of us of service. Now, but they, at the same time, they don't want to necessarily think about how to build business or compromise. Like, oh, what if people think I'm too salesy? Or what if people think I'm, selling them something? Well, the fact of the matter is you are selling them something, right? If you can't sell chiropractic as a service, then you actually have no right to be able to serve them, right? If McDonald's can't serve you at, that Big Mac is, healthy for you, or at least fulfills you, or, have that sensation of, filling your tummy, right, of hunger, then they have no right serving hamburgers. So every company, every brand that does good for this world, didn't say McDonald's does good. I'm not saying they don't either, but any brand or company that does good for this world, right, has to have a profit to be able to take that profit to drive them forward, to continue doing the business, and also take that profit to be able to drive towards their vision. Now, I'm not suggesting that one vision is stronger than another. That's not what this is about. My goal to talk about is like, why is this so important? And why, since this is an important discussion, is that us as chiropractors, we need to figure out that the important here is that we need to transform. We actually have to have a business. We actually have to have a business in order for us to survive. To make sure that we can carry on to have an amazing career. And so a couple of key elements that I want to kind of dive into is that what are some of these components? What are some of the things that we need to kind of dive into to help us kind of get involved in really kind of creating the things that we want to have? So I want to kind of dive into today is really to help you kind of understand is that there are a couple of key elements that I believe that it's really important for us to kind of go through. And from that, I would love to be able to share with you some of the key components that to help you do that. So let's kind of dive into this. Let me just sort of show you this particular model. Let's see if we can get the screen going. So reality is that we have to one of the key elements is that obviously we need to know, we need to kind of know where we're starting from, right? So that's the starting point. We're going to start somewhere, and we're starting here. And where are we going? Well, we have a vision, right? Whatever that vision and that fulfillment of what we're trying to kind of create for ourselves, that's what we want to have. And in order for us to get there, we're going to have to do we need to do a couple of things, right? In order for us to kind of go from where we are to where we want to go, I believe there's a couple of paths. You can do a lot of different things, right? You can kind of take this route to kind of get you there. Maybe you will have to take this route to kind of get you there, or maybe it's kind of coming from here. Either way is that what I'm trying to say is that you need to kind of know where you're going. That's number one. You need to kind of know where you're going, right? Number two is that you need to know where you're starting from. So you need to know what you have, what capabilities you have, and what you still need between that gap. The third thing I think you need to, like these lines here, is that what we need is we need to kind of create a strategy, right? You need to know which path is right for you. And each person, each of my client, or, you know, I know that I have to guide different to get to wherever their vision is, because everybody takes a different path. There's no one right way. So it's important for us to recognize that there's multiple ways to kind of get there. So of course you need a particular strategy. Number four is you need to implement, right? You need to implement specific tactical things. And, you know, you might decide to take the blue line here, and you need to kind of know what the steps are and what are those tactical things that we need to do step by step to kind of get to that particular vision you're trying to achieve. Without that, it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve that. Now, the other things that you need to consider is, I believe that one of the things here is that you need to also have a bit of structure, right? You need to have structure. And the structures that I believe is that's going to be really important for you is there's three particular components. And the three components here are, number one, you need a team, right? You need a squad to help you really build, you know, get you from point A to point B. The second thing is you need some sort of system to help you kind of really kind of get across what you need to kind of, you know, help you get there. You have to have a system to kind of be making sure that you're doing the right things. And the last thing, I think, you need to actually be of service. You have to have great service, right? If you have a great team, you have great systems, and you have great service, right? That means you're going to be able to get there a lot quicker. Right? This is how we're going to fundamentally build a particular business. Now, the other thing is, what I think is also important here is that we got to consider is that we need to earn a profit. Right? These two lines here, the structure and the profit, we have to do the strategy within those two structures, within the structure and the profit, because without a profit, as I mentioned before, you don't have a business. And if you don't have a business, you don't have a place or a product or service to be able to provide people. And it's really super important for you to kind of recognize that, right? That's why it's so important for us to have a business plan or a business strategy to help us build a practice that becomes a business. Because without that, it's going to be very difficult for us to really be able to be of service, which is our highest achievement or vision. What we want to do is, which is help people and also serve people. And so that ultimately needs to do that. And one of the other element I believe that's encompassed all of this is having the right mindset. Without the right mindset, you know, throughout the whole difficult period of times when it's going up and down, it's going to be really difficult for us to achieve that. So this is my fundamentals, really all the component parts of the 7 main things that you need to kind of really know to help you shift from a practice model, right, to a business model. And that is exactly sort of what we're trying to help you accomplish with the Practice Bootcamp. Practice Bootcamp is actually coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And I've got a guest speaker coming up, which is, his name is Jeff Spencer, who's my coach, who's my mental coach. He's been, you know, he's one of those guys who's been extraordinary in terms of helping people get to the best of their best of the best, in the sense of that he's been in this industry for over 50 years. He's an Olympian himself and has helped over 40 plus world champions or Olympians or teams, including guys like Tiger Woods, to Bono of U2, to you know, Dave Asprey from Bulletproof. So entrepreneurs and athletes to help them get to the top of their game. And he's going to be invited speaker to kind of help you transition of what is the right mindset to help you kind of get to where you need to go to build a business. And we're going to have a couple other guest speakers as well for the Practice Bootcamp, so I'd love for you to attend. Practice Bootcamp is a 2-day event, and it's going to be focused on chiropractors to help you transition yourself from a practice to a business and moving forward in 2021. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. The early bird tickets are going to be closing soon, so I would love for you to go and check that out. And yeah, I'd love for you to join us. I hope that you got some value from today and understanding why it's so important for us to kind of build a business in chiropractic, because in order for this profession to survive, we need more people to have better businesses so that we can push the profession forward to serve more people, to get people to understand what chiropractic is about. So I hope this has been helpful. Guys, leave a comment below, share this with others, and make sure you go check out the podcast if you want to listen to the audio version. We're also on YouTube and on Facebook. So we'll talk to you soon.